This is the moment I wish I would have not started the dishwasher before I did this TikTok. But look what I got. What is this, you might add? Could this be a bay tree? A bay laurel? Could it be? Yeah, it is. It is. And you know what? That sweet lady friend I have, she's actually moving and she has a bay tree in her backyard. And she heard me saying how I wanted a bay tree. And she's like, do you want to take cuttings? And I was like, yes, I do. And she was like, oh, here's a pair of scissors. So look, I took some tips off of her bay tree and we're going to turn them into little baby bay trees, hopefully, if my propagation technique is still on par. Let's see. I just got back from the greenhouse and took 2 of these little containers that I have and filled them up with dirt. That's part 1. I had to make it look pretty. It has to be pretty if it's going to be in the house. And the next thing that I did is I went in to my shack and I got my root tone. It's Take Root. It's just a rooting hormone and it is a white powder. You can find this anywhere. If you happen to have a weeping willow tree, you can actually take stalks from the weeping willow tree, cut them, stick them in water and let them sit for a while, and then you get rooting hormone, natural rooting hormone. But I don't have a weeping willow anymore. That moved away when I moved out of the house that had the weeping willow. Yeah, that makes sense. Do I have a spider crawling on me? I bet I do. Anyways, let's keep going. So I have my dirt, I have the rooting hormone, and I have my clippings. I also need the Plant Propagation Bible. This book is invaluable because each plant can be propagated, the majority of them, but it depends on the type of plant and the type of propagation that it benefits from the best. So I went and looked up in this book how the bay tree, the bay leaf tree, wants to be propagated. And the first thing you have to look up is what is the scientific name of the bay leaf tree, right? Because we're all like, it's just the bay leaf tree. You pull bay leaves off of it and you cook with them. They're actually very beneficial for cancer, anti-cancer, drinks and teas and all kinds of anti-inflammatory, all kinds of stuff. So Laurus nobilis is the scientific name. And when I looked in the back, it said that it liked to be propagated by semi-ripe cuttings, by the semi-ripe wood cutting method. And this is that method. So we are just going to follow. It wants you to cut, it wants you to trim off side shoots, it wants you to wound it a little bit, then we're going to treat it with the hormone compound, and then we're going to dibble in and stick it in and pat it into its little thing. Let's just get to it because it's easier to show you than to tell you, right? And that's the whole reason you're watching video, because if you wanted somebody to just tell you, you could listen to a podcast. No, we're not going to do that. We're video people. Right. Let's get going. Cutting board and sharp knife. All of our fun little things. And let's bring you down to our level. There you go. Now, we're going to go through all of these. I'm going to take all but the top 2 leaves off, and I'm going to cut those. And we're going to do that with all of them. And you just pinch them off. Now, these are usable. So I'm actually saving those, and I'm going to put those probably in the freeze dryer. Let's keep with this. I'm going to get scissors, and we're going to cut these to a third of this off. We're going to take this here and we're just going to go clip, clip. See? Because we don't want all of the energy we don't want this to take all of the energy of keeping these alive. We want just enough for photosynthesis, and we want it to concentrate on repairing and building its root system. Does that make sense? Let me get this all done with the rest, and then I'll show you the next step. If you find one that has a side shoot on it, you want to cut that side shoot off. Now we have all of these flowers that are starting to come into bloom. We're going to remove all of those because we don't want this little twig to try to keep everything alive and kill itself in the process. We want it to reserve all of its energy to putting on new roots. So I have 6 real cuttings. I'm going to take each one and I'm going to score the outside of it and kind of cut it diagonally, rough up the outside of the leaf part. And then I'm going to gently put it in here and shake the leaf stem around a little bit to get the rooting hormone on it. And then we're going to put it in the dirt. Now, I like to cut it just below one of the little knobs on it. Just like that. Just me. Now, I'm going to take the knife. This is not my propagation knife, but I'm going to take a knife and I'm just going to rough score. I'm just going to expose some of the layer underneath, like that. I'm going to do that a couple spots. And that again. And then I'm going to take it, put it in the water, tap it, because you don't want it waterlogged. That's not your goal. That's not the goal. Now my soil that I'm putting it in is extremely moist. I'm going to rum it around. Rum, is that a... And then I'm going to tap it off. Like literally, you don't want very much. You just want a little coating on it. You just want a little bit. And then a chopstick, a skewer, anything that is like a long skinny thing, you're going to stick, can't believe I said that. You're going to stick it in the soil. I twirl it around a little bit. I stick it all the way. I take this guy. I gently put him as far down as I can get him. And then I tap the soil around him. That's it. Do it with all the other ones. We have them all potted up, and we're just going to give them a little tiny bit just for moisture because the soil is already moist. And then we're going to create a little dome for it. Now this is a perfect use for those leftover or the old Ziploc bags that no longer zip, or ones that are so old you no longer feel good putting food in them, right? You all know I got these on sale decades ago for 9 cents a box. They're very old. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the plant, we're going to open this bag up, and we're creating a dome. We want a little humidity. We want to keep it in there. The warm water that I watered it with, we've cut off the leaves, we're creating a little tent for it. We don't want it to get moldy in there, so we're going to check on it. But right now it's trying to recover. So this is its little hospital bed. You know those little preemie babies and how they stick them in those little things and they monitor everything? We're going to monitor everything. So there you go. And stick it in indirect sun, or in my case, my kitchen window, because there's no sun that comes through my kitchen window, but maybe less than 20 minutes a day. There you go. And that's all there is to it. The majority of the ways I've gotten all of the plants I have on this 2 acres is through propagation. Most of your plants can be propagated. They all like to be propagated in different ways. Division, root cuttings, soft, hard layering techniques. This book tells you which technique that plant that you have likes the best, which one is going to love it the best. There are people that put the laurel trees in water and propagate them with the water method. I could try that if I had other cuttings. So the root tone is going to be your best friend, and this book, and you can literally make all the plants you want in your garden. That and from seed. Now you know what I know. You guys have a great day out there. Bye. Time for a quick 1 month update. It's been 1 month since I've had these guys. They still have their leaves. I just watered them and they are still sitting in the windowsill. I do not have them covered anymore, so they're breathing on their own. And in 2 weeks, I will uncover and see if they have any roots going. Here's the other one. So excited. Ironic, I just started the dishwasher and I have a canning batch. I thought I would share with you the bay tree that survived. It has got 2 huge thick roots. I had to repot it. And the other ones didn't quite make it, but that's okay. That's why you do a lot. And he still looks really good. He's still very green. And yeah, so that is how you start things, from cuttings. Thanks for watching. Now you know what I know. Now you might be asking, why did I do this? Because I can freeze dry these leaves and have my own bay leaves. Or I could just pick them off the plant and go.